Right back like I never left. I really wonder how nasally my voice is. Oh, crap. Ah. Give it a few more minutes. I'm not hanging out for nothing. This house must have the thinnest walls ever. Just trying to see if, as I requested, lags. Trying to see. Oh, it just came through. Yeah, I'm trying to make it join, but it doesn't. It just keeps saying waiting.
Hello, sir. This is the coronavirus update.
No, it isn't.
How are you? Lots of things in the NFL today, sir.
Yeah, I got to do a minimum wage podcast for a podcast class, and I just realized that how do people in Tuckahoe live with this? I don't know if it's just Tuckahoe. It can't just be Tuckahoe, obviously, but there's planes passing every 55 seconds.
Oh,
And
you hear that too?
And it took me until today, well, as I was recording, to notice the frequency of it.
Yeah, no, like last night there was a bunch of planes and shit.
Like, this is ridiculous. It's
What's up,
legit.
Preston?
I'm trying to record in my room. Obviously, the window can't hold out the noise of an airplane, and it's just ridiculous. Whatever. I keep saying ridiculous.
You like the show Ridiculousness in your defense.
Yeah, the first 3 seasons were not good, but the rest of it, it's the funniest show in American history.
I'm a big fan of Tosh.0.
Did that guy like die?
No, I don't know what happened to him. I remember Tosh.0 was very funny because there was this one time I was in DC with my friends, and they're just showing compilations of females getting hit in the in that region, and they were just like calling it names, and he was like, "No dismay in the vajayjay." I was just laughing.
Oh, another plane. God, this is aggravating. I can never unhear it now.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Let's see.
Tomataka, how's it going, sir?
Yeah, I can.
Tomataka has joined. I'm so happy. How are you, sir?
These people join for like 45 seconds.
I know.
Yeah. So, yeah. Topic of today.
Yeah. What is the topic of today?
Yeah. No, it's minimum wage. So.
Oh.
Yeah, that goes well. So I think we're gonna preface this by leaving out the current circumstance and just go with how you would. Dang, I have to see. I can't have this like as a regular convo. I have to act like I'm actually recording this through one of these microphones, which I will try to hold to the screen. This is really. She said, "I have a surprise. How do I join?"
It's okay, Catherine. It's gonna say to request, and then you'll be able to.
There's no three-way joining of this, right?
Yeah, I think that should. There's
no way. Wait, let me see if it kicks you off.
All right. If it does, go ahead. I'll allow it.
Wait, what the hell? Oh no, it can't even do that. I'd have to X you out first.
All right, X me out. Add Catherine in because Catherine wants to say her words.
Wait, let me see. Yeah, let me see.
Here, I'll do it.
That was fast. Wait, how do I get? Damn it! I don't know how to get. I'm trying to get off of the screen that I have. All right, wave to Kath. Go. All right, that's it. I couldn't get out of it.
Hi!
This is not safe. Not safe.
Hi, Daryl. Hi, Daryl. Hi, Pablo.
Well, I don't think is Pablo still on here?
I don't think he is.
Dang, I had to get it. I have to like make him rejoin because he I'm doing a podcast.
Yo, Pablo! Daryl, where do you think we are right now?
The house in back of you says Florida, and
I don't know here.
let's see, Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach. Okay, can you hear us?
Yeah, Rye Playland. Rye Playland.
Exactly. Yep, got it. Got it in one. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach?
No, close.
Gainesville.
Close Lauderdale by the sea.
The point is we're on the beach and away from all the madness. So
yeah, we're gonna go back and the world's gonna be hell.
The world's been hell since.
Do you have a real microphone? Is that what you're holding?
It's not. It's connected to an H4n Zoom.
Oh wow, are you actually podcasting right now? I feel bad now.
I'm podcasting, but it's gonna be edited down to like 3 to 5 minutes. So whoever.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
So you can cut us out.
Oh wait. This is a good question for Naomi. Are you This is a good. Are you satisfied with the current minimum wage?
No. Who is?
Explain.
It's not enough. It's okay. But are we talking? The state minimum wage? Is that what we're talking about?
Better.
Westchester County.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's definitely not enough for our livelihood and where we live and daily expenses, and for a student going to a private university, it's not remotely enough for us to survive. So, no.
And I think now shows that, right? People living paycheck to paycheck who now don't have jobs.
Oh yeah. Well, the rent is too damn high,
The rent is too damn high.
Everything is too high.
and the minimum wage is too damn low.
Exactly.
God.
Agreed.
Ugh.
But also, if I had healthcare, maybe I'd be less concerned about how much money I have to make.
Do you have healthcare?
I mean, it's like, you know, it is healthcare, but
Okay,
it's not. It's not
ideal.
healthcare you're comfortable with.
Yep,
You know,
gotcha.
That damn blue,
underinsured, as they say.
Yeah.
that damn Blue Cross Blue Shield does nothing.
That's actually my plan.
I'm telling you, I am Nostradamus. I can predict almost anything.
Sure.
But yeah, that's who's behind you?
I mean, that's Naomi. And then there's a barrel behind us.
The people.
Yeah, the people.
In a different time, I would say go over and introduce yourself. But
you know what? I'm proud of you for not saying that.
I'm gonna say if this was November, you should go over and introduce yourself. And yeah, go over and introduce yourself because we're all feeling dead inside. And
Yeah, I'm nervous about coming back to New York.
well, I'll give you some advice. Never nervous, never mad. That's how you should live.
Sure.
Okay.
That was quality. Thank you.
But then again, have you ever met
Harder
some
to
of our
enact
customers?
than easier said than done.
Yes. But have you ever met have you ever met some of our customers? They're never nervous, but they're always mad.
That's funny.
They're
Yes.
like, I need earphones. Wait, earphones? Is it earphones?
The
Earbuds?
headset.
They're like, I need a headset. Why isn't it out
Oh.
in 22 seconds? I'm like, okay, courage the cowardly dog's mother. Like, they're all the worst. Look how colorful Pablo's profile picture
I know.
I know.
Oh yeah, Naomi, type in your at.
My at for Instagram.
Yeah.
Why? What will that do?
I don't know. I just don't know it.
Oh. Oh, you don't have it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and
She doesn't post.
I need one more loyal follower every time I go live. There's only 4 people, and that upsets me. I need the validation.
Well, how many followers do you have to begin with?
I don't know any of them. It's like 1,200.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a considerable
You're
number.
popular.
It's okay. It's it, as Pablo
Ite.
types it. He says, so how was the trip? As if they're not still on it.
It's good.
We're very happy.
We're very happy to be not in New York. However, going back to New York will not be fun.
Yep.
But it's good. We're on the beach every day. And then that's kind of it.
We're happier to be here than there.
That little kid just boogie boarded all the way in. It was so impressive. He came from
I'm kind of ready for
like the third wave. He did it from there.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say the Third Reich.
No!
Freudian.
No.
The Freudian?
I'm gonna get one.
Okay, we're going to tap Pablo back in.
Yeah.
It was
We're
lovely
gonna swim
speaking
a
with
little
you.
bit.
Increase the
Look at
minimum
the
wage.
beach. Can I turn this around?
Yeah.
This has been the least you can do. Name my podcast.
We're going to tap Pablo back in, okay?
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Pablo. Bye, Daryl.
This was fun.
Bye.
All right. Wait. All right. Hopefully this doesn't lag anymore.
Well, hello.
Yeah. All right. So, back into it because we have about. God, these planes are terrible.
I'm currently playing FIFA. This is my life as of yet.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to cater your focus.
I'm listening.
Wait, are you on playing an opponent?
No.
All right,
Maybe.
pause that. I can't have a thing in the background because I can't edit that out.
All right, muted.
All right, I look really dumb with this. Yeah, but you can't hit the buttons. Because I can't edit the button tapping out. Button. That's not a sentence I thought I would say when I grew up. When I woke up this morning, not when I grew up. Let's see.
First of all, how are you and how is the prep?
We're all dead inside.
the supermarket Acme. I got into a fight with a father. And he
Oh,
was
that's what you typed in.
yes. The guy was very. He's like, "What about my kids? Look at my kids." I'm like, "Dude, I'm here with my mother, so please, we need steak for the week."
Steak. That was the food of choice. You could have just said cereal, and they would
Well,
have all believed you.
I got some chicken breast and some steak.
I should really comb my hair. All right, so I think I've already asked this question, but I guess it bears repeating.
What is it?
Oh yeah, first question. Are you currently satisfied? Wait, are you satisfied with the current minimum wage?
I mean, it's better than Maryland's minimum wage. I'm okay with the ones here in New York, but I mean, it's kind of hard for me to judge anything about minimum wage, seeing that I am a student and I'm kind of like dependent of my parents and like what my parents do. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm saying I'm fortunate enough, as douchey as that might sound.
How do you feel about your current purchasing power?
Like what I can buy and like what I can't buy.
Yeah, you know what purchasing power is. That make me struggle. I have to edit this.
Pretty good, I guess. I mean, I live comfortably.
I said I live comfortably. Spoken like a true Bronx villain.
You're just being an asshole at this point.
Well, I don't know. All right, so I asked. There was mixed reactions. I asked Joe about this, and I asked Catherine about it. And I mean, Joe's older, so he's in a position where there's more responsibility with him paying off his, I guess, like, yeah,
like,
I guess
like necessities, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I get that.
So, all right, so talk about Maryland's minimum wage.
Oh, Maryland's minimum wage. If I was living on Maryland's minimum wage, I feel like I would not survive.
How so?
Things are cheaper in Maryland. I understand why the minimum wage is set at the number it is, but I just feel like with the things that are there and like all like the accessibility to other stuff there, it's not good.
But to push back a little bit, wouldn't Maryland's prices be lower than New
It's
York?
lower compared to here, but sometimes I feel like I'm paying the same thing for the same price for the same thing that I would pay in New York.
We're talking about groceries. I don't know why I'm blanking, but are we talking about groceries or what else?
Just like stuff. Like I know McDonald's seems cheaper at first, but then you realize it's not. I have a McDonald's down the street from where I live.
So you obviously haven't worked here besides the one day you came back. You obviously haven't worked here.
Oh, I made more in one day working here than I did in a full like week and a half working in Maryland.
What was the Maryland occupation or job?
Well, I work for a what do you call it? I work for like the motor pool transportation services of the school. I mean, to be fair, I only work like an hour a day because they only need me for that, but it's like 5 days a week. And I make more here. Like literally my paycheck, I worked 1 day. I worked 2 days in Bronxville and I think it was like 160 or something like that, like after taxes. And in Maryland, I worked like literally like 2 weeks, which was like I don't know how many hours, and I only made like 80 something, and that was after taxes. So like obviously I'm not the best thing, but like student jobs, like you have designations where you can't work more than 15 hours a week anyways. So I don't have like an off-campus job. You know what I mean?
Oh, that makes sense. What do you do with your current, I don't even want to call it salary. What do you do with your current take-home pay from Bowtie?
Well, I usually put it into like stuff I need around my room, or just like my food stuff, or just Yeah, just like what I need at at home in my
Oh
room.
man, I don't even remember what you were trying to do. I don't even remember what your major was. It was like
Finance and international business, double
Wait, say that
major.
again. Say that again before I interrupt you.
Finance and international business, double major.
Ew.
Oh,
Well, actually, I don't know what. Like, I know what that stuff is, but I'm just like, eh. That
ouch.
one is like too. I never got into those categories, so it's just like it's stuff that's necessary. But then I'm like, yeah. If I don't understand it, it's inherently boring. But that's just one perspective. Crap, my freaking head is itching. I have to go bald soon. That's beside the point. So yeah, New York, New York and Maryland, opposite ends of the spectrum. I don't say opposite ends. New York and Alabama is like different.
I mean, I will tell you, I did go to Myrtle Beach, and a typical like $20 breakfast here in New York was like $7 in Alabama, in South Carolina.
20. All right, so that doesn't make sense. Are you talking New York
I'm
City
talking.
or
I'm talking about
Westchester?
like, let's say you get your pancakes, your sausage, and like let's say home fries. It was like $7-8 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, North Carolina, North Carolina.
Thor Beach was South Carolina. What's the South Carolina beach?
I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't been there in like a year.
I was expecting more that you would remember this. You would remember the state. I remember
I
when
don't
we.
know, man. They probably didn't like my kind, anyways.
That's fair. I hate the South. It's just I hate them.
I'd like to live in Tennessee for like 5 years. See how that goes for me.
Samuel L. Jackson's home state, Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. I want to live in Nashville though. If I really wanted to, I'd live in Nashville.
That's a nice city from what I saw on reality TV.
How
There
how
was a
how is the reality TV going? Speaking of which,
for in general.
yeah.
They brought Jersey Shore back. My dad's upset about it. They brought Grizzly Knows Best, which is where I saw Tennessee at. I think it's been on a hiatus because they got indicted, or they got charged for like tax stuff.
Tax evasion, typical stuff.
Yeah, so those are my
Typical white
favorite.
collar crimes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, those are my favorite reality. Those are my favorite reality shows. All right, so back to the topic. I remember when we first started working, 2016.
2017.
Oh, you were
February.
20. Oh, you were 27. I was 2016. All right. All right. I remember when we first started. I remember when I first started working at Bowtie, 2016. Minimum wage was $9. When you came in, I believe it was
It was
early 20.
10.
It was 10, and I was miserable because not miserable. I hated that it was 9, and it just killed my spirit.
Uh-huh.
But I think for you, you were probably satisfied with it being
I was
$10.
listen, back in high school, dude, like my money that I made from work would literally only go to so my mom doesn't have to give me lunch money and I could just go wherever I wanted. Like I had my own money to where I didn't have to ask my mom for like $5 for lunch or something like that, you know?
So you were just appreciative of a paycheck.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's rather interesting. I
Why?
remember our manager would just be like, our manager would just be, our manager would just say, like you don't smile often, and I would say I'm working a 7-hour shift. I'm missing the Ohio State Michigan game, and I'm earning $9 an hour, and you want me to smile? Trying to pay for Westchester Community College $1,200 worth of tuition, and you want me to smile? And that was just like besides my personal grudge, which we could have a 50-minute conversation on. But but it was just one of those things. It was just one of those things where, it didn't I always look at it, it didn't matter. Like, I always look at wages as, for this country, it can't be a meritocracy, because it's not, the harder you work, the more you earn. It's on a scale and doesn't really matter. So it might discourage people from working harder. I really don't know.
Yeah. I get
but
it.
I certainly wasn't smiling. That was a thing. So now it's all right. I guess that question wouldn't make any sense.
Which one?
Now it's at 14, I believe, the minimum
13.
wage. Yeah, now it's at 13 right now. So how much better are you feeling from 2017?
I mean, better. If I was making what I make now back then, I'd feel like I wouldn't know what to use with my money, like what to do with my money. Because like obviously I could go and do like the high school thing and like spend it all and like not care about it, but like back then, now it's tougher times, so now I actually like need to like save money and stuff like that and stop being like like spend like every penny I have and like kind of just save it up because when it's times like this is when you wish you saved up money.
All
You
right,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
So I can kind of segue. I guess I can kind of segue into this. This is probably a better question for Catherine and Joe because yeah, this is probably a better question for Catherine and Joe because now we are closed. Now we're kind of doing what? All right, let me rephrase that so it's better editing. Now Bowtie is closed until
Next
further
2 months
notice. So I'm not sure what our coworkers are going to do, the ones that actually have to pay rent, the few
and
of them,
stuff. Yeah.
that do. So
Well, I think isn't there a bill that the government's trying to pass?
it might be a no eviction thing.
No, no, like there's a bill I think that they're trying to pass where it's like it only involves minimum workers. Did you not see Joe's text in the thing? It's like minimum wage workers wouldn't have to go to like work or anything because like I don't know, it's some like weird thing because like you also have to think about it. The federal minimum wage in in the country is $7.50, I think. Isn't it $7.50 or $8 or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's 750. It's pathetic. Keep going.
Yeah, but like who's gonna survive on that?
It's impossible to. There's no. I keep bringing this up. There's no state minimum wage that actually allows you to afford a one-bedroom apartment.
I mean, yeah, I get that. I don't
So
know.
yeah, they might, yeah. So you're saying they're going to do like a stimulus where they pay the salaries or they pay
I think
whatever.
I think so. I think that's what they were like thinking about doing. I don't know, man. I'm not keeping up a lot with politics. Frankly, at this point I'm not listening to any TV because frankly it's all just like I don't know. I don't care about it. It's all like trying to evoke fear into the public, and it's just I get it. We have to watch our news, but like when it's like constant updates every single minute of the day saying, "Hey, there's been 5 more confirmed cases," like that just adds more fear into people and unnecessarily making them worried about what's going on. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't be worried about it. I'm just saying that they're literally hyping this up like Michael Jordan's return the second time.
That's an unlikable character right there. Uh, I love how
What?
that's what I latched on to at the end.
What you
There,
don't
there's
like?
there's something where if you ask someone 2 questions, usually they just answered like the last part of the question. They don't answer the first part. So they tell you not to ask 2-part questions because usually they only answer one part because that's the one they heard last.
Uh
Maybe I did take notes in class. I don't know.
huh. Very
But
funny guy.
yes, it just hit me for real once they closed down the theater. And I remember Justin. I'm not using this microphone. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it just hit me once they closed down the theater. And I remember Justin texted me asking me if I wanted a day off, and I said I'm gonna come in because I don't know when the next time I'll actually have a paycheck that's not the required 2 weeks in our direct deposit.
Uh huh.
And yeah, I had a professor who asked me, is our business being influenced by the virus? And I told her I wasn't paying attention because I really wasn't.
Ah.
I told her I wasn't paying attention. I said maybe there's less people because we got rid of Parasite. Little did I know had we had gotten Parasite back. So it was just it was a fun conversation. And then I come in on Friday, no one comes in. I come in on Saturday, and then there's one person for the last showing. I thought that woman should know better too. Like, why are you coming in the last one? So yeah, we're all, I don't know. Not most of us are just a little bit screwed. We did a Zoom class today. Zoom class.
Oh.
That's that app or whatever.
Yeah. We're gonna do that starting tomorrow.
Is that the only application where people that the only application where people could
I
do
don't know. I think
multiple
it's the one that works more because I think with the Google stuff, because I don't know if you know, there's like Google Classroom or something like that. Like that's just weird.
Google Classroom? Google has everything. They can afford everything. I don't even know how they pay their people. Is the person who owns it like a trillionaire?
I assume, man, they make money through advertising.
Oh yeah, it's like endless. I didn't think about that. Plus YouTube is owned by
Yeah.
it.
Well, YouTube isn't owned by it. Google bought it.
Yeah. Oh, Google bought YouTube. I thought no, that makes sense. Dang.
Yeah, Google bought YouTube.
Oh man, yeah. So I just believe it got very real when I showed up to the theater and no one was coming in, and I believe there was a ban.
There was a ban on movie theaters, restaurants, and bars, and places with high concentration / capacity of people.
Meaning they couldn't open.
Yep, they closed it. There was like a mandatory close of that stuff, and also didn't they like try and impose a curfew from 8 to 5? From 8 p.m. to 5 a.m., no one could leave their house. That's what they wanted to do. I don't know if they're still doing that. I mean, I was out at like 8 o'clock yesterday buying a calzone from the local pizzeria.
You said 8 p.m. to 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
So literally, it's like times people would like go out and like, I don't know, go to bars and shit. But like, if you're already closing the bars and stuff, then why are you worried about people hanging out at like 8 o'clock at night?
I guess that's a designated infection time.
I mean, you're already closing the bars down, so why do you care?
This girl on my Snap actually went out and was just going, I was going to say going ham, but this is not 2011. She was off it. Like I don't even know what it was, but she was just.
She was off perk 30, as my friend would say.
She was doing the most, and she never accepted my Instagram request. So I was like, wow.
I'm very sorry, sir. I know that
Yeah.
you definitely are hurt by that.
Everything is personal. Everything is personal.
I'm going to go get a nice carton of milk. I'll be back.
Carton. Oh, these wires are going to get tangled. Oh, it's a wrap. It's definitely a wrap. Oh, they didn't get tangled. I don't think they did. They definitely did.
You were saying? My nice carton of milk?
I think I could barely. All the comments are in the way. So, let's see. All right, good. I thought I tangled my microphones to where they couldn't be.
Very nice
couldn't
carton
be.
of milk.
Oh, I remember like at Tuckahoe when we would go on spring break or winter break, and the lunch ladies would just be giving them out free because they were going to expire. And I thought, y'all could have just gave free lunches this whole time. We just had to read an article about like it was just like about food insecurity in Philly or something.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, third world country.
Philly?
No, as opposed to like, I'm saying the fact that there was food insecurity made me feel like it was third world. Because it was just like this guy, it was sad. There was a guy who, he might have ended up playing in the NFL or he played college football. It was about athletes who grew up hungry. And he bit into gum on the sidewalk that had a leaf over it. And then he commented, he said, it looks so juicy. I said, this guy got desperate. I was just like, there's no excuse for like that level of sadness.
Oh, that's just
Like that,
wicked.
like someone's situation having to be that, unless their house burned down or they
It
blew up.
looks so juicy. I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, it wasn't the fact that he said that was the most interesting part, but um the fact that that was his situation, and it definitely like it wasn't his family's fault. I was just like, that was ugly. That was that was ugly. Yeah, it was
Oh,
bad.
believe me, yeah, it's awful.
But yeah, I think this is good because we got someone who was actually satisfied with the minimum wage into a discussion.
Is that me? I assume.
Yeah, because Joe was just fed up with the minimum wage. And no one's even saying that. No one's suggesting, raising it to whatever 13, 14 federally, it would solve the country's problems because it clearly wouldn't.
We're
There's so
sponsored today by Cremo Land Dairy.
Cremo land.
Have you gone to the containment area in New Rochelle?
Why would I go to it?
I don't know. The National Guard is there.
No one even knows what the National Guard does unless you watch the first Avengers film.
Of course, you like the National Guard, don't you? I think your favorite soccer player is Ryan Babel.
I don't have any. I don't. My favorite. I don't have a favorite player of anything that's not one of the three main sports.
Uh-huh. So, what do you think about Brady leaving then? Let's turn it down to another thing. What do you think about Brady leaving?
I mean, he's old, so does it really matter? No one thought the Patriots were going to win except for the Patriots, so didn't really. I thought he wouldn't do it. He might just retire. So who
I
knows?
assume.
So yeah, it's
Teddy Bridgewater going to the Panthers.
that guy. It might just be too late for him to turn his career around.
Really?
That franchise is shot.
Ron Rivera, not their coach anymore. Very sad.
Yeah, I don't even know what the more it's so crazy to me, the amount of coaches who were players that I didn't know of because they were players when I wasn't born.
Yeah.
Like Eric Bieniemy I have his football card. I just looked at it
Really?
2 weeks ago.
I was at the Heat game last week. Literally last Sunday, I was at the Heat game. And,
Yeah, I thought you would see the one I forgot. Well, can you call it a Heat game if they're not the home team?
I mean, they won.
Yeah, it can't be a Heat game if they're not the home team. It has to be like a Wizards game, which
Okay,
is
so
way
I
less
went to
cool.
a Wizards game, if we're going to be politically correct about this. Well, it was a Wizards game. And, Ron Rivera was in the game. He was in a suite. And everybody was cheering and booing. It was hilarious.
DC. I was gonna travel there. Oh yeah, what do you call that? I forgot what the arena is called.
Capital One?
Ew. Capital One Arena. That's where my sister had her second college graduation. Queen Latifah, the guest speaker, killed it.
You have to say it like that. Queen Latifah, the guest speaker.
I don't know. I'm trying to.
Queen Latifah, she's in one of my favorite movies, Just Right, with Common.
I'm trying to figure out how Common managed to. I'm trying
To
to figure
literally
out
become like an amazing actor? Yeah, still. I don't know. Went from rapper to singer to...
I'm trying to figure out how they make actors actually play sports well in films. How that editing process goes.
I mean, Common's also played basketball. That movie was about basketball, so he's played basketball before. He was on his high school basketball team.
Yes, but there's a certain level of, I don't know how to explain it. In order for you to play sports in a movie, you have to be excellent at it in order for it to look good. You have to be a certain level. Like that's why they would get like I don't remember the Space Jam. I don't want to get into it. I don't remember the Space Jam movies, but they had Uncle Drew. Obviously, if you put Kyrie in it, then he's in his natural element. But even like Coach Carter, if you watch it, there's only two missed shots in the film Coach Carter. there's a block shot, which is technically a missed shot, and there's a missed free throw. Everything else is a made basket. So the amount of time you have to put into it is very crucial. But you have to get people who are efficient in order to save time, so your budget doesn't go up because you have to rent out stuff, and so
Yeah.
there's a level of efficiency that has to go into those movies. You can't edit someone's athleticism into the film
Yeah, no, I get that.
unless you're doing like Mike or something. So that's different.
Like Mike. Very good movie. I wish they made a second one with Bow Wow, where he's like finally makes it to the league without the shoes.
Yeah. No, he ended up being in a movie. He ended up being in another basketball movie, but he looked way. Oh yeah, he was like 21 though. He looked way older though.
I mean,
You ever heard of Hurricane Season?
No.
It's almost as good as Coach Carter. Like, it's great. Hurricane Season was after Hurricane Katrina, and you were allowed to transfer to any state, to any high school. You were allowed to transfer to any high school statewide. And Forrest Whitaker is the coach, and Taraji P. Henson is his wife. She's barely in it though, and
I know
and Bow Wow ends up coming into it, and he tricks Bow Wow to joining his team by using reverse psychology.
I like Forrest Whitaker, one of the good actors of this generation.
Yeah, I love how he ends up in Black Panther, but he's definitely like not African.
Yeah, I like him though.
I bet you people are mad at that, but who cares? Who cares?
What about Sterling Brown?
Who? I think I heard.
Sterling K. Brown, one of my favorite actors from my favorite show, This Is Us.
Oh, in Black Panther.
Yes, he was the dad that died. Killmonger.
He was in I just had it in my head. He was
OJ, People versus OJ.
Yeah, I'm not watching that. He was in Marshall.
Do you not like People versus OJ?
My dad wasn't gonna watch it, so I decided to just follow in his footsteps and not watch it.
But why?
Because it's so drama. Like, that whole thing, people like trying to relive that stuff as entertainment is kind of insulting, like a little bit.
I think it's hilarious that they put David Schwimmer as Rob Kardashian. I don't know about you.
I mean, they're not so far off as far as their looks. Like, they don't look alike, but they're close enough to where it makes sense.
David Schwimmer.
It's a great giraffe. Is he a giraffe?
I know you love the what do you call it? What's her face? Kim.
Oh, Kim Kardashian?
Yes.
Yeah, her and Beyonce are getting to that level of like old, where it's just like they're still good looking, but you're like, dang, the glory years are behind us, but you're holding on. Like once it hit 35, you're just like, but you're like, yes, you're still there.
I will never forget something Charlemagne the God always says, and it's never good to listen to Charlemagne the God, because he's very weird about certain things. But he's like, once a woman turns 40, you can't call her by a real name. You got to call her something else. And I don't think it's PC for me to say it, so I won't. But you can Google it.
Oh yeah. No, Charlemagne's funny though. His takes are usually correct. That's what I'll give to him. Like, people, him and Stephen A. are so polarizing, but their takes are usually correct. That's what's crazy. But Stephen A's I would rather hang out with Charlemagne. Stephen A., like, the level of which he has to brag about himself makes him unlikable.
I like his. I haven't read his book, but I kind of want to read his book, Black Privilege. It just seems like it just be all like his hot takes in one book.
Oh, they put that in the Breakfast Club like studio so you could see it.
Black Privilege?
Yeah. They're like, it's a privilege to be black. I'm like, since when? I was like, you're definitely... No, when I went to the conference in Baltimore for WCC, and they were talking about using your black privilege, but I left before I got to that part of the seminar. I stayed Thursday, left Saturday, went to the club Saturday.
Where did you go? Did you go to Fed Hill?
To where?
Where did you go in, like, Baltimore?
Well, no, I didn't. I left for New York Saturday, like, afternoon. But I ended up... I tried to go someplace Friday, but I didn't know. The Thursday night and Friday, but we had early like starts each morning, so you couldn't really go anywhere. And then the homeless people would just ask you for money, and I'm like, I work minimum wage.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And the guy was like, I just did 20 years. And I'm like, hey, I'm all for changing our criminal justice system. But if you did 20 years, there's a 30% chance you deserved it. So
That's so messed up.
I said a 30% chance. It could just be he had 3 cocaine possessions, which I don't think is a crime. And he it could have just been that. But he could have did like grand larceny.
Oh.
Yeah. What's so crazy is whenever there's individual cases of like criminals, I don't like, obviously you don't like what they're doing. No one's advocating for crime. But when there's individual cases, you're just thinking to yourself, I know like you have terrible circumstances, but how could you do such a thing? But then when it's mass incarceration, you're like, dang, this is terrible. We should change something. So it's like contradictory statements in your head, in my head.
In my head. I remember Jason Derulo when he was popular.
He commented under Jordan Sparks' pregnancy photo saying, I wish that was my baby. She does something to people. She's cool.
Must have been good, eh?
Jordan Sparks does something. Because I remember Sage the Gemini, I think he used to like, I don't know, I think he used to be verbally abusive. I don't know if he hit her, but he used to be verbally abusive toward her. And I thought to myself, she's very kind, so you're definitely out of your mind. And then he tried to go back to her. He had like 2 hits, and I never saw him again. Party hard, party hard. No, party.
So are you still a big Cardi B fan?
She was supposed to, before this corona, she was supposed to have a court case for beating up 6ix9ine's. She sent people. She could do up to 10 years. She sent people to beat up 2 bartenders, one of which is 6ix9ine's current girlfriend, which I don't even 6ix9ine, and then another is like her closest friend, who looks very, very terrible. Like, I don't want to judge people's faces, like I shouldn't talk, but she looks god awful. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Those beat up.
She looks. What's crazy? I'm gonna post that to YouTube, and someone's gonna find that and take it out of context, and then use it against me, and then I'm gonna get denied a newspaper job.
Oh no! Talking bad about Tekashi.
No, it's not. No, his girlfriend's good looking. Her friend is just like got hit in the face with a sack of nickels.
Oh my lord!
Oh man. But
Right,
yes.
Babel.
But yes. So so I have to circle back to this topic. All right, I'll go back and edit that. Oh, I have to turn this into audio as well. Damn it. So yes or no on increasing the minimum wage?
For other people, yeah. For people that actually need it, yeah. So yeah, I guess so.
That's a terrible answer.
I think you should increase the minimum wage because there are people that definitely depend on it, and some people think it's not enough, and it's just something that you obviously need to do. Is that better?
Yeah.
Just destroy your mic.
Well, yeah. I'm just taking this. I'm just getting bored. I have to return this within less than 2 hours, so I know I have to take the SD card out and upload everything.
Better math. How much?
Let me see. What is this? Yeah. Oh, are you serious?
What?
All right. That can't be my fault, right? Yeah, it was already like this. The part, the flap that holds them, it definitely was. I hope it was broken before, because I know I didn't break it.
Oh,
watch them come back
keep
and try
running.
to,
You're already gonna be like that, you idiot.
And watch us come back and then attempt to charge me for this. But yeah, I don't know if I should continue with this topic though for my podcast. I might just have to turn this podcast into something else.
Coronavirus talk. not clickbait. We don't talk about coronavirus. That's what I would make it.
Oh, I know. They're demonetizing. YouTube is terrible. Like they're great, but they're just also their rules are just god awful. YouTube is demonetizing if you put that word into the title of the, or is it no? If you speak of it, or you put the word into the title of the page.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're demonetizing. Yeah, I remember they had a thing where like a bunch of the political talk hosts had to ask for their members to go on to send stuff through Patreon because they relied too much on the advertisement income, so because they were demonetizing if you were talking about the Middle East or if you had ISIS in the title, they would demonetize it. So it just cut off their revenue, and like it just cut off their revenue terribly. I think we should all set up a Patreon. Just be like, I am over at Patreon.
Patreon? Do you have a Patreon?
No, who's gonna pay for WordPress journalism Patreon?
People who want to. I don't know.
Plus, my stuff's got to be solid. I do know that. I do know that ever since Kobe died, we have a responsibility not to be lazy anymore. Well, at least me.
Really?
I mean, it's one of those social contracts. You can't be lazy anymore. Kobe wouldn't have wanted that. I don't know what percentage of the population is lazy. How much would you guess?
33.
That's way too much. Or what percentage of lazy are you saying? Like, are they lazy in? Are they like? How would you rate the laziness average of that 33%? I don't know how to. That was a terrible question. I don't know how to phrase that. How much are they lazy in stuff that's necessary for them to either survive or their work?
I don't know, actually. Probably in the teens, maybe 20s. Definitely not more than 40%, I can tell you that much.
Right. We all have a streak of just...
There are some times where we do get lazy, I will say. But nothing that should be, like, concerning.
I knew
if Eddie Murphy said anything, hey, if you want to wear a black leather hood and spank your own ass, go work at Bank of America.
Oh, now I gotta watch this stand up now.
Huh?
Now I can picture him saying it in that voice.
No, he said this in the movie Tower Heist.
Oh, yeah. I watched that at Cross County. I think I watched it at Cross County.
I will never forget that. There's just something funny about that. He's like if you're gonna wear black.
Oh man, yeah, that's funny. I want my baby back ribs. I want my baby back ribs. That's a terrible way to end the Instagram Live. But with that being said, yeah, no, Pablo was buffering. Yeah, I have a lot to do this week. Gotta edit this. So I should do an outro, but I'm not gonna do an outro because I didn't do an intro. That's on the H4N. I almost burped. This is disgusting.
I don't know what that was about. That's fucked.
Buffering.
Right as I was playing 2K. What's this, man? What's this? We're
all going to be relegated to watching people play on some streaming service, watching people play Madden.
That's
Yeah,
stressing.
that was the noise of a cat vomit. Not a cat vomiting, a cow vomiting.
Lol. It's okay.
What organisms are incapable of vomiting besides like insects?
It's a question to ask a bio major.
That's fair. Also, all right, with legal studies and liberal arts majors, what do they do?
I wish I could ask you. I wish I could answer. I feel like legal studies definitely is like something in law.
Like, if you have a friend and their major is liberal arts, do you tell, this is an ignorant statement, do you tell them to that they're going nowhere in life?
That's messed up.
All right, watch me be broke by like December of this year just because of that statement.
Get beat up by a liberal arts major? I could see it.
Yeah, it's just Brock Lesnar's son walks into the room.
What'd you say about liberal arts majors? Some fucking steroid juice head.
I love how you made him an Italian guy from Ohio.
You're just messed up. That's what you are.
That's exactly, like I assume that's how other countries assume American accents are, even though American accents vary crazily, state to state basis.
Oh, definitely.
I assume like they believe anyone who's over the age of 50 speaks in that voice, but with like an older version of it. Like they speak like they're either Italian or Boston. I feel like Boston's like an entire. I feel like the New Hampshire region is just like they don't like the letter R.
You mean the Northeast?
Yeah, I mean, but the Northeast could also include New York, which doesn't really count as New England.
So New England territory?
Yeah, you're just like you'd be like, hey, you can't God me, like God, I can't God you.
Mark. Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. You know,
Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg was an asshole. People just don't care about that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's because talent trumps morals sometimes.
I mean, I'm not gonna get into it. You know what? I'm not even gonna say it.
Because I have that discussion with Catherine all the time, where she has to explain to me how bad of a person Chris Brown is, and I say, appreciate the art.
That's what I say about R. Kelly.
All right, but no, like his is a different level. His is just like and plus, he did make an album with Jay-Z that I used to listen to. I listened to it once in like 2003.
We should have all knew by 1993 when he had a song, "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number." Something was up.
Yes, we had a whole discussion about that. The class was called Race, Gender, and the Media, and there was a teacher's assistant that she was the most aggressive teacher's assistant because she had been through some racial stuff in her life. Uh-huh. So she was just like, he used to hang out at high schools and stuff. I was like, yeah, that sounds like him. And then she was just like, well, if it was white girls, then this would have been stopped a long time ago. And I was like, yeah, fair, but now you made everyone uncomfortable.
Oh, you're an asshole. You're an asshole.
Yeah, I was like that needed to be said, but I was like, dang. What a class which gives voices to white people, but they just don't want to say anything. No, they spoke their truth about gender stuff, and I forgot how much photos are cropped. Like I forgot magazines make women look so much skinnier, and people were like, that's dangerous because of like the body dysmorphia rate or whatever that is, body dysmorphia, or like in eating disorders. And I said, that's kind of fair. I forgot. Like, I'm dead looking at like these magazines. I'm like, she really is that skinny. I'm so gullible.
How does that make you feel?
I gotta do like, I don't know. I don't know. Whoever becomes president needs to make sure critical thinking gets taught so people don't get duped like me. People like me don't get duped. into believing that her head is bigger than her waist.
Wow. It's not fucked up at all, right?